It's time to meet another one of my friends. So without further ado, please welcome to the screen actor, writer and ABBA fan. Yes, it is IAN HALLARD.
Hello. Hello, love.
Who is your favourite member of ABBA?
It would have to be Agneta, the blonde, I'm afraid. I know it's obvious, but yeah, it's always been Agneta for me.
Is she the one that's holding out on reunions and stuff the whole time? Is that?
Well, she was, but they've made
done it.
Yeah.
Oh, have they? Oh, I didn't know this. I'm not. My sister's a big fan, but I'm not. I mean, I like them. I like them a lot. But...
Yeah. It's basically they're having a big sort of hologram live tour, and they've written some new music for it. But God knows when it's going to come out. It keeps being pushed, and now because of the pandemic, and nobody can tour or do anything.
So when you say hologram live tour, that's almost like an
bit of a
oxymoron, isn't it?
It's the live element there will be dancers, apparently live musicians, backing singers, and their pre-recorded vocals, along with holograms of when they were sort of at their peak in the 70s.
Well, listen, IAN HALLARD, I have got 3 questions for you. Are you ready for your first?
I am ready.
Question the first is, what is your recollection of our first meeting?
Well, the real version of that is that we met in a sordid flat in Wood Green many years ago when I was at drama school, and you were good friends with the lovely Janet Parkinson, who was also in my year at drama school. But the slightly more entertaining version of that, not that the evenings there weren't entertaining, of that story is that we met in one of my first professional, and I use that word advisedly, one of my first professional engagements, exactly 21 years ago this summer, the summer of '99, and it was a show, and I don't want to be mean about this because I'm not a cruel person. So I thought what I would do is, in the way when journalists report a traumatic incident, and they say we spoke to Jeffrey, not his real name. So I thought I'd do that. So the show was called Martin, a Journey, not its real name.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it was. Well, it wasn't, but yes.
Exactly. So and Martin was the story of a young gay man's struggle to come out in the environment of his fiercely homophobic Christian evangelical family. And they took him to be exorcised to try and get the homosexual demons out of him. And what was more extraordinary about this was that it was a true story. And what was even more extraordinary is that our leading man who played Martin was the guy who in real life had experienced this. And if you thought that sounded like an unlikely topic for a musical, you'd be right.
I don't remember what part you played, actually. Remind me what you did.
Are you ready?
Were you an evangelical evil person?
I think I played multiple roles, the high point of the show, in fact, indeed the only high point of the show, was your appearance as the drag queen. And I've done a little bit of digging about it. I don't know if you can see this properly, but I have found...
Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's amazing.
I'm hoping that shows up okay in the centre of the screen.
Oh, my God.
That's you as a drag queen and me with silver spray in my hair back when I needed to spray it grey.
Said. I'm imagining you being in a scene, like coming on and going, "Come on, let's be gay," like Legs Akimbo Theatre Company.
It was very much that. I mean, I'm wearing a sailor suit in that.
Yes, photo. Yeah, it's quite subtle, the messages we're giving, isn't it?
So obviously that was one of my roles. But I do what I remember about it is that I think we only did 3 or 4 performances.
Yeah, in Essex or Brentford or something like that. Yeah.
Right, and we were still rehearsing at 7 o'clock the evening of our first performance when it went up at 7:30, and that first show finished at 11:20.
So when they say it was a journey, it really was a journey.
The slightly tragic postscript to this is that was the August 1999, and I think I was a bit traumatized by it. It's the only show I've ever done that I haven't allowed anyone to come and see. Friends, family, nobody saw it. And I met my husband, Mark, only a few weeks later. September 99 is when we met. And the whole experience was very fresh in my mind still, and indeed the trauma. So I talked about it quite a lot. And we just got into this shorthand that whenever I talked about it, I would call it Martin, the Terrible Musical.
Yeah, yeah.
Cut to a year or so later, Mark is in a certain department store on Oxford Street, and a charming young woman comes up to him and introduces herself and said, "Oh, actually, I know your boyfriend. We work together on a show." And she started talking to him, and she said,
people come up to Mark because he's on telly and stuff. It's Mark Gatiss.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And she said, "Oh, actually, I wrote the words and the music for it." And Mark, without thinking, really wasn't being a twat, but he, just because that's how we always referred to it, he said, "Oh yeah, Martin, the Terrible Musical." But if you're watching this, Anita, I apologize for Mark wasn't trying to be a cunt. Oh, can I say?
I think you just did. So
completely out. So there we go. That's the. I apologise if that was a very long story. I'm sorry about that, but there we go.
It's like the best how we met story I've had so far. It's brilliant, and the fact that I haven't got any photos of that. You know, my sister was pregnant with her first child, my niece, my first niece at that time, heavily pregnant, and I think she was in labour, in fact, when we were doing the very first show, because yes, she tells this story that she was given gas and air, and was talking about me for some reason, and the nurse was saying, "Oh, where is your brother?" And she was saying, "Yes, my brother can't be with us this evening because he's on stage dressed as a woman," because she was on so many drugs. She doesn't normally talk like that. So
I bet the labour wasn't as long as the show. I'll send you. I have a couple of photos. This is the only one with you in, but I'll email you this.
God, I'd love to see them all. Yeah, that's my very first gig I ever did officially in drag, and I had to borrow a red dress from a friend, and she borrowed it from her mum, and I don't think their mum even knows to this day. I think they had a red halter neck or something, a stretchy red halter neck. Yeah, it was my very first one, so that's why I'm looking a little bit less than perfect.
Well, you wouldn't have known it, because I do, as I say, I do remember you were the only decent thing in it.
Well, listen, let's move on before we get sued to question 2, which is, IAN HALLARD, how are you keeping creative at the moment?
Well, lockdown has been a bit of a game of two halves for me. I started off the first month or so incredibly lethargic, couldn't get any motivation to do anything. Mainly I downloaded The Sims and sort of regressed 25 years and playing that. But then, I mean, I've kind of been a bit sort of, I have been quite creative. I've been writing.
Yeah, because I said at the beginning, actor, writer, and ABBA fan. And when you sent me that, I was thinking, I didn't know he wrote. So tell us about that.
I didn't. I mean, this is the thing, you see. So I'm still I'm still trying it out as a descriptor. I'm kind of not entirely comfortable with it yet, and I'm not sure I've really earned it. The only thing that I feel like I have kind of earned it was I wrote my first play last year, and it kind of has gone down well. And I have 2 theatres, a regional theatre and a London one, who want to produce it and to do a production of it.
Yeah.
Of course, this is all entirely dependent on whether theatre survives.
Theatre as a concept. Really.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been a bit gutting, because I've kind of over the years people have said,
"What was there? Has somebody come home? Hello, there's a dog. Look, there's a little dog. Hi, little dog." There's a little doggy. Yes. We never get special guest star dogs. That's brilliant. What's your dog's name?
He was supposed to be out the entire time.
We've probably taken too long because we're giggling.
Yes. Yes. What was I saying? Yeah. So terrible timing. But yeah. So I've been writing. I've written some other stuff as well, and who knows? Hopefully they will get performed at some stage. But it's been good. It's been a real kind of creative outlet. I kind of wish I'd started doing it years ago, but then I think, these things, it's all about the timing, isn't it? And maybe lockdown was the impetus I needed. Every so
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
I look forward to reading or seeing one of your pieces. That'd be awesome. Your third question, Ian Hallard, is what are you looking forward to doing that you can't do at the moment?
It's a bit obvious, but I'm looking forward to getting back on stage. I'm really hoping that there might be a way for Panto to happen this year. I fear.
Oh no, there won't.
I know. I fear there won't be.
It's behind you.
Exactly. I know.
What were you slated to do something? Are you?
Yeah.
Do you dame somewhere? Don't you? You have a residency?
No, I'm itinerant. I go all over the place. In other words, once I've played,
I call it being a whore myself.
Yeah,
but okay.
exactly. Either that, or basically once I've done one theatre, they don't want to have me back. I have to find somewhere new then. You did Ugly last year, did you, or was it 2 years ago? Yeah,
I did last year for the very first time. Yeah, I had a really nice time. I worked with Enchanted Entertainment. Hello, Enchanted Entertainment, and my friend Gavin Ashbury, and the people backstage, the crew and stuff, they were really sweet. They was like, "You're our favourite uglies we've ever had," and these people have been working with the company for years. And I said, "I've never done it before." They were like, "What?" I said, "No, it's because Gav and I have known each other for so long. This is why." Well, I mean, I've been on stage before, of course, and I've done Dane before, but Ugly is not Dane. They're different jobs, aren't they?
You've been in Martin the Terrible musical, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I've learned all I need to know from doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing Panto too, and I'm not assuming that I'm going to get any phone calls this year, but who knows? Who knows?
I don't know if anyone will. But I agree with you. I mean, the year I did Ugly, I think that's the most fun I've had doing Panto, because I did the same thing I did with my great mate Matthew, and it was brilliant. It was great fun.
Well, listen, we are running out of time. Guys at home, don't forget to press the subscribe button for more like this. Now, sadly, next time Ian won't be with me, but I will see you all next time.
If we're saved.
See, you've remembered, and it's taken ages to do this. That's brilliant. Well done, Ian Hallard. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye. Lovely to see you.